Good afternoon. Whew, a little bit of rushing. The last 36 hours have kind of been a lot. Not gonna lie about that. Whew, whew, whew. I thought today I would actually be sitting up like a regular person. Ain't Erica Wallace wants to know, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just rushing a little bit. I was actually gonna do this. Hello, Ina. I just was rushing a little bit. I was gonna do this sitting in a chair again, but I was out rushing around and I had lunch and I ate too fast and I just generally speaking have a sour stomach. So I need to just be stretched out right now. Yeah, I'm okay. It's just that I had to give my mom a ride and her appointment was at 1 and there was traffic going there. That's why I pushed this live stream back an hour. There was traffic going there more than we expected. I mean, I knew there was going to be some, so we left early. Fortunately, we got there in time, but then we had a really fast lunch and I ate too quickly, too much too quickly. And then I was sitting around waiting for her, and then we came home and I had to take a shower because I just trust me, I had to take a shower. And my my bedroom, which is where I am, is just an absolute shambles. More so, I mean, I usually keep it pretty tidy in here. If there's a mess, I just put it somewhere else or somewhere where I don't have to look at it so that it won't keep me from relaxing. Right now, there's stuff everywhere. So I know what my 10 minutes of yuck is going to be. It's going to be tidying up this room. So yeah, I'm basically doing okay. Just a little rushed and a little discombobulated, but I got a nice coffee with toffee flavoring and some almond milk. So yeah. So how is everybody else doing? Tiara check. Whew. Erica says, sounds like the story of my life with two littles and very sickly pregnant with number 3. Ooh, that doesn't sound like fun. And Anna says, I have a thriving toothache and a list to do a mile long. Well, sounds like we're all having bang up days. Oh, and when I got myself situated in my bed for maximum stretching out and relaxation, I popped the fitted sheet off the corner, of course. Yes. Anna says, I have some butter pecan creamer in a cup of coffee. Nice. And Erica says, we are all struggling. And then she has this emoji that looks like this. I hope I did it justice. I don't think I've seen Erica Wallace here before. Welcome, welcome. I'm happy to see you. Uh, just a quick what we are up to is this is reading and productivity or napping or whatever sprints. And we usually start with a 10-minute sprint, and that's so that people can just do something unpleasant for like 10 minutes and then come back and just have a good time with some uh, conversation. I bought a whole bunch of books at a book library sale today. It was they gave you a bag and you could fill it for $5. I ended up buying 4 bags and I ended up buying 4 bags of books, which amounted to just over 80 books for $20. So around about a quarter a book. And Anna says, I think I will tidy my living room. And Erica says, sounds great. Okay, do we want to go ahead and do that? Oh, the other thing I do is I usually listen to a local classic rock. Erica says, Anna says, great deals. Erica says, I'm itching to get my hands on the new Golden Girl cozy. I don't usually read cozies, but I do like the Golden Girls. So I'm gonna have to see what people have to say about it. Anyway, so I'm another thing I do is that while I'm doing my stuff, I'm usually listening to a local classic rock radio station, the River 105.9 variety, the River 105.9 variety from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, mostly the 80s. And it is in the Hartford Springfield area. That is Hartford, Connecticut, and Springfield, Mass. And it says Sophia and Dorothy are legends. I think Rose is also a legend, and I think Dorothy is a very special, not Dorothy, Blanche. Blanche is a very special kind of legend with the gentleman. Okay, so this is the radio station I'm going to be listening to. There we go. And it says Rose did get in some nice burns, and so did Blanche. Anyway, I'm going to stop doing that now. Okay, so that's the radio station, and let's sprint. It is 3:06. Excuse me, 3:06 p.m. So let's sprint until. Okay, now it's 3:07 p.m. where I am. So let's sprint until 17 minutes past the hour, and we can get our yuck out of the way. And I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, that was 10 minutes of yuck. There was a package for me on the porch. But my room is still a shambles. Hi, Stormy. How's it going? Oh, man. I went to a library sale. The Berlin Public Library in Berlin, Connecticut, not Berlin, Germany. And it says, yeah, I actually decided to make bread rolls. Cool. Anyway, it's a couple of towns north of here. And they have a permanent bookstore that the Friends of the Library runs. And they are having their buy a bag for $5. They give you a bag and you fill it for $5. And I bought 4 of those bags, which ended up being just over 80 books. So that was about 25 cents a book, if I do my math correctly. So yeah, I got my bedroom tidied, and now it's still a shambles, but it's a shambles because I have giant bags of books next to my bed so that I can start putting them on Goodreads and share them with you guys if you guys are interested. Let's see. Stormy. So Anna decided to make bread rolls. Oh, I also picked up the package from the porch. Stormy says, so my arthritis in my right knee is flaring up and painful, making me cranky. I bet it would. Erica says, I read some in the mystery writer by Sulari Gentile, and loving it. Isn't they wrote, what was it, the murder of the woman in the library, or the murder in the library, or the woman in the library, or I don't know. My mom read it and she liked it. I don't think she's read the mystery writer though. Maybe she has. Erica says, Storm, you jinxed yourself today coming to hang out with us. We are all struggling here. It's true. It's so true. Yeah, I drove my mom. My mom had something to do and she wanted me to drive, so I drove. And we got there a little early, so we had lunch, but I ate too fast and too much. And then I was sitting around for a good long while and then driving home, and I just need to stretch out. That's why I'm in my bed, because I thought I was actually going to be sitting up for this one today, but no, I'm not. I'm just not. No. Erica says, yes, the woman in the, that was it, the woman in the library. I have not read that one, but we'll pick it up as long as I continue to enjoy this one. Nice. So yes, I went to a library. So I went to the special library sale. I mean, it was at the same space, the same bookstore space that they usually have, but it was just like their books were really inexpensive. I think I counted them. I think I ended up getting 62 mass markets, most of which were historical romance, but some of them were picked up a horror novel and some contemporary, some category romances. And I also got 19 trade paperbacks and hardbacks. So, and that's not all. That is not all. I went to Summers. Wow, says Storm Reads. Yeah, it was pretty sweet deal. I went to Summers Library over the weekend. That was when I went up there, and there were daffodils growing outside the library, and there was also snow on the ground. Not a whole lot of snow, but there was snow on the ground. And I was just like, okay, that's what they do up in Hartford County. We don't do that down here in Middlesex. That's not our deal. So I was definitely in a foreign country there. So I did pick up some books though. So I have those that I can share as well. So is anybody interested in a haul, or is that like an unnecessary question? These are the books I picked up in Summers. Ana says, not a necessary question. Stormy says, I always want to see books, LOL. Ana says, we need it. Yes, okay. So I got a couple of books. A couple of the just jostling the computer there. It's fine. Okay, a couple of the books I got were for basically for crafting purposes. Let's see. So there's this eyewitness travel guide to Paris, which came out in okay, the most recent revision to this book was in 2002. So I think, I feel okay about just like cutting it up for the pictures because the information in it is seriously, seriously out of date. And, and then I had another book. Now, this book I'm not going to cut up. This is a book of postcards from the old Route 66. And they're, as near as I can tell, they're all in there. So I can frame them. I can mail them to people if I have their addresses. So, yeah. So those are like papercraft type stuff. And I got this book by Rosemary Rogers. She writes historicals, or I don't even know if she's still alive. She wrote a lot of historicals, but she also wrote some contemporaries, and this is a contemporary. Oh, I love her author photograph. I don't even know if this is really her, if she just hired somebody for it, but look at that. I'm guessing she walked there in a different pair of shoes and then changed into those shoes before after she sat down. Anyway, this is about the shocking, intimate worlds of fashion, politics, and international filmmaking are brought into breathtaking focus in The Crowd Pleasers. Copyright 1978. These floating heart type pendants were very popular. Then this one has some water damage, and I don't know how I feel about it, but Night Shift by Annie Crown. This is a Okay, this is college. When a college bookworm and the campus basketball star share a sexy encounter in the library stacks, things get complicated. So, new adults. Sure, you bet, why not? Oh, and I got Nora Roberts' Savor the Moment, book 3 of the Bride Quartet. And Happy Ever After, book 4 in the Bride Quartet. I already had the first 2 books in the Bride Quartet. And this is Nora Roberts' take, but it takes place in Connecticut, so it's got some local interest to it. This is Kate Hallahan. This is One Little Secret, which is a thriller. And this one is large print, which I don't need to read large print, but I like to from time to time. And then this, Necessary Errors by Caleb Crane, which is, I don't know, an exquisite debut novel that brilliantly captures the lives and romances of young expatriates in newly democratic Prague. So this was, when was this? Copyright 2013. It's October, but it takes place in October of 1990, just after the fall of the Soviet Union, fall of the Iron Curtain. And then I got some mass markets, 3 historicals and 1 science fiction. The science fiction is actually a Star Trek novel. I have only read a couple of Star Trek novels in my life, but I have enjoyed them. And it's time travel, and I am on Team Traveler for the Ever After-a-thon. And that is Time for Yesterday. So you can see Spock's on the cover. So it's the old gang of idiots. It's Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and yeah, just getting up to all kinds of galactic hijinks and temporally too. And then some historical romances. We've got McKinnon's Bride by Sharon Harlow. So this is, where does this take place? It's somewhere in the West. This is a Harlequin historical, actually. It's somewhere in the West. I've been enjoying Western romances lately. West Texas, 1883. Book was copyright 2003. So there we go. And then also Harlequin historical. Well, this is HQN historical. It's Harlequin, but it's not Harlequin historical. I don't know exactly how that works. If only Sarah the Bookish Knitter were here, she could tell us. This is Candace Camp, the Courtship Dance. I like Candace Camp. I'm not familiar with this. It's probably book 5 of a 17 book series or something. I don't know. But you know what? I'm okay with that. And this is a time travel step back. One Perfect Night by Judith O'Brien. And but it's not a clinch step back. It's just a step back where she's looking contemplatively at a dude on horseback. So she's an advertising executive, and he's Sir Lancelot from Arthurian legend. So, yeah. Oh, and at one point, somebody wanted this enough that they bought it from thrift books. But I got it from the library friend sale at Summers Public Library in Connecticut. Okay, I'm back. So that was my haul from Saturday. Where that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 novels, and then those 2 that is postcards and the pretty pictures. So, does anybody have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions? Bring it. Oh my goodness. Do we want more books to be hauled, or do we want a sprint? Or what is the thinking being done? Ana says, I'm in the kneading stage of the rose. I think it's rolls. If you're in the kneading stage, I'm assuming you're probably using text to speech and it is messing you over, because that's a thing that text to speech will do. More, please. More hauls, not more sprints. Okay. Okay. So I've already sorted the books I bought today, sort of. I sorted them into contemporary and also like historical, and then not romances at all. So I think these are all longer contemporaries. Oh, not all of these are contemporaries. I mean, not all of them are romances. Okay. So I'll start off with the non-romances. We have a couple of horror books. Ghost Radio by Leopoldo Gout. And this is a yeah, I don't know. It's like anyway, it's Ghost Radio, and apparently this guy has like this independent pirate radio station where people tell ghost stories, and maybe they're actually making them come true. This is from 2008, and it is, I don't know, 370 pages. So that's horror. And where's the other horror book I got? The Montauk Monster by Hunter Shea. Look at those teeth. Look at them. Montauk is not too far from where I live. So it's in New York, but it's on the Long Island, and I live in Connecticut. Not too far from Long Island Sound. Anyway, so this is some kind of they created some kind of, the government experimented and created some kind of hyper sea monster or something, and it is gonna mess people's stuff up. That'll ruin your vacation. Okay, and then I have some. Is this romantic suspense? I think this is a thriller. Karen Robards. It might be romantic suspense, or it might just be a thriller. Uh, yeah, it's a thriller, like romantic suspense called Obsession by Karen Robards. It's very shiny. Look at how shiny that is. And it's coppery shiny. I love copper. And it is a step back, but it is a pleasant scene of a fall road with a cabin in the distance. Because apparently the main lady in this, what's her name? Catherine. Catherine underwent some sort of trauma, and now she's like trying to recover by like going to a relaxing cabin in the woods. But you know what happens to relaxing cabins in the woods? Never works out. And then I have uh Christina Dodd, but it is from a series called Darkness Chosen. I think this is like a vampire deal. It's not historical. I don't think. Eh. Yeah. Scent of Darkness. Another shiny one. And Starbright by Catherine Anderson. Looks like it's probably a contemporary, but apparently she faked her own death to get away from a bad situation. So I love that, like trying to start over again. Faking your death is pretty extreme, but it sounds like her situation was pretty extreme. I think it was like a really, really bad relationship, like abusive relationship. And then we have, what's this? Okay, this is like one of those books about rich people behaving badly, and I love them so. It's called Priceless. It's by Olivia Darling. I've never read anything by her before, but it's got a strapless evening gown. I can't wear those myself, but I sure appreciate it when other people do because they're neat. And something by Maisie Yates. I've heard people talking about Maisie Yates, and I haven't read anything by her, but we've got a Copper Ridge novel by her called One Night Charmer. It's very long, but it says there's a bonus story, but I don't know how long the bonus story is. Okay, the bonus story is actually fairly long, so One Night Charmer is about 360 pages, and then the bonus story is another 100 pages or thereabouts. So contemporary but Western. Nice. And Pamela Morrissey. I have some historicals by Pamela Morrissey. I've read one of them, and I enjoyed it. But this is actually a contemporary by her, and it is another book set in a library, and this one is called Love Overdue. So yeah, I thought that would be fun. Okay, and then we have the categories. Oh, we have. Okay. We have 5 Harlequin Presents. I picked them up basically because they were authors I'd read before, and like a couple of them are by Charlotte Lamb, who is a particular favorite of mine. By her, we have Too Close for Comfort, which is part of her Barbary Wharf series. And that was like back when they were building Canary Wharf in London back in the late 80s, and turning it into this kind of like, there were newspapers and shops. They were turning it into a new commercial center because it was docks and so on that London didn't need as docks anymore. Anna says, kneading is done. I got out lots of frustration. Frustration with text to speech, perhaps. Anyway, that was what that was happening in real life. And Charlotte Lamb decided to write Barbary Wharf series, which was like a similar kind of office complex, but it didn't really exist. And the books were centered around people who owned it, managed it, designed it, worked in it, that kind of thing. Jessica Steele. That I think is from late 80s, early 90s. That is, yeah, 1992. And then we have I might already have this one, but I was willing to take a chance. This is from 1984. Imprudent Challenge by Jessica Steele. I don't think I have this, but if I do, I will find a home for it. Emma Darcy, The Wedding. This is from June of 1992. She was supposed to get married, but she got ditched, and she feels bad about that. So she has a chance to have a one night stand, and she takes it. And I'm guessing more comes out of it than just that. Also by Charlotte Lamb, also from June of 1992. Heart on Fire, and by Vanessa James from March of 1987. Try to Remember. So she's got like amnesia. Love a good amnesia story. I even love a bad amnesia story. I'm not picky. Oh, I didn't realize I'd grabbed this as well. This is a Harlequin Desire. I think that's a defunct line, but I'm not sure. This is also Maisie Yates. Claim Me Cowboy. I remember thinking I hadn't read Maisie Yates and grabbing that other book. And then I think I just grabbed this because I had room in the bag. And it was, when you're buying a bag, you want to fill it. And then something by Joan Johnston. I have an historical romance from her, but this is a Silhouette Desire. So you know that's older. This is from 1992. And so this would be a contemporary category. It's not very long, 185 pages. Let's see. Another Silhouette Desire. I think this is even older, from 1985. Journey to Desire by Lori Page. So, yeah. And then two Silhouette special editions. Oh, I don't remember. I remember Sarah, the bookish knitter, talking about these. And Silhouette was part of Simon & Schuster, and then around about 1982, 1983, they were acquired by Harlequin. And they continued to have editorial independence from Harlequin for quite some time, but eventually Harlequin just kind of drew them into the Harlequin family, and they were no longer distinct as Silhouette. I'm not sure when that happened, but these are slightly longer. Usually like these are like usually around 180, 190 pages. This is 250. And this is from 1989. So it would have been a part of Harlequin. Silhouette would have been a part of Harlequin at that time. And Carol Houston, Summer Course in Love. And this, I think, is even earlier. Yeah. 1983. And then I have Love Swept. Love Swept was a part of Bantam. This was their category romance line, and they tended to be fairly explicit. And these were, again, shorter. This is like 180 pages, and this is number 402. So this would have been like early 90s, 1990. Okay, so those are the categories, contemporaries, and what I have left are so many historical romances. So that was so that's that. And it says historical holds my heart. And I am going to talk about the historicals I picked up. I already talked about the ones I got in Summers, but the ones I got today, I will talk about that after the next sprint, because I've got all this stuff and I need to clear it off and make room for more. And I need to get these onto Goodreads. And this was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So that's 18 out of 62. So that means I have 44 that are historicals. Some of them are even step backs. Although actually a couple of those are, I got ones that I knew were duplicates for books I already have because I want to send them to somebody. And so I'm not going to share those because, spoiler alert. So I should have around 40 to talk about when we come back from the sprint. Does anybody want to share news, views, anything like that before we do another sprint, which will be a 30-minute sprint? And I'm sorry, I put that link to the River 105.9, and they played Dude Looks Like a Lady, which was enjoyable. And then it was just like all ads for the rest of the 10 minutes. That was great. Ana says, I am looking at my bookshelf right now, and one of my pop up Harry Potter picture books is missing. Well, that blows. I only just noticed. Oh, it was one of the nibblings, wasn't it? They absconded with it. It could be anywhere. Mm, those books are pretty dusty. Indeed, says Anna. Oh, okay, that's what happened. It's not even in the same time zone anymore. Okay, well, does anybody want to ask any questions or make any suggestions about what they want to see when we come back, or what they're reading, what they're going to be doing during the 30-minute sprint, which is what we're going to be doing next? Anybody have anything to say before we break for the sprint? If the question is, Sock, where are your eyebrows? They seem to be going so far and no further. That's because I hopped out of the shower and I didn't feel like putting on a full face of makeup. And this is what I naturally have for eyebrows these days. And I usually extend them with makeup, and I didn't feel like messing with that today. So that's why I am a bit denuded in the eyebrow front. Anus says, so much to do, so little reading to be had. Well, I actually returned books to the library today, and I also checked books out from the library today. During the sprint, you can decide whether I returned more books than I checked out, or if I checked out more books than I returned. So place your bets. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the 30-minute sprint. So we'll be back here at oh, good golly, 4:15 my time, quarter past the hour, generally speaking. And I didn't talk about the hardbacks or the trade paperbacks I picked up, but I think I'll just jump into the historical romances so we make sure we can at least see some of those. Anna's laughing. I'm glad I amused. Anyway, so we'll do some of the historicals, like, so that we can at least get to some of those, because I don't want to do every other kind of book I picked up and then, oh, no time for historicals. Okay, so we're going to go until quarter past the hour. Okay, hopefully the River 105.9, memorable hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, won't be playing nothing but ads this time. And sprinting, not how you spell that. And I will see you in a half an hour. Okay, it's time to come back from what we were doing. Take a deep breath, stretch. Hmm. So I got all of the books I just talked about um, on Goodreads, except for the category romances, because I haven't done those on Goodreads yet. So, but I did all of the others. They're all on Goodreads now. And how is everybody else doing? Stormy says, I watched some of Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Oh, yeah, you were talking about how uh, I don't remember what the context was. Did you find them on DVD or something? Anyway, you said that that was a favorite of yours and that you were looking forward to getting into it some more. Cool beans. Nice. Uh, Anybody else, or should I do talk about some of these historical romances I picked up, or what? I didn't categorize these beyond just mass market historicals and that kind of thing. I didn't like figure out what's Regency, what's Western, and so on. I've been in my Western era lately, so. Stormy says, watching it for old school April points as I have all four seasons. Oh, you already owned it. Cool. Anna says, I'm here, but I'm making salsa verde and chorizo and beans at the moment, so I'm listening and watching, but not able to talk much. Well, Anna, did you bring enough for everybody? I had dental work done yesterday, and I'm still sore right here at the injection site for the local anesthetic, for the like Novocaine, lidocaine, whatever it is they use these days. So I am very much about soft food. I'm also very much about having my little tray table tilted. So, it was nice though because last time I was in for the cleaning and they told me that this needed to be taken care of. This is an old filling. It's so old. It's still silver and it's probably been in my mouth for over 40 years. Well, actually, it's not there anymore. And so that had to be taken care of. And I had gotten an estimate for some cosmetic work as well. And I misunderstood when they gave me the estimate. I thought it was for what was done today. And as it turned out, the estimate was for everything, including the cosmetic work. So the bill was $460 cheaper than I had budgeted for. As for the cosmetic work, it's going to be on a part of my teeth that nobody even sees. So I'm going to let that slide because $460 is a lot of bucks. Anyway, so are we ready to talk about, or actually, I guess I talk, you listen, about the historicals I picked up? Again, these are not in any particular order. They're not, what's the phrase I'm looking for? They're not separated by era or length or publisher or anything like that. But we do have, this is a zebra romance, and it's got that like holographic, it's not actually a sticker. It is integrated into the cover that they used to do. It's, I don't know if you can see, but there's like this holographic couple in there. That was very big in, 1989. Anyway, Frontier Temptress. So I'm guessing that this is not a medieval. This is uh It doesn't specify what. Anyway, they're on their way to California. Then I have a zebra also. Regency romance, which is the shorter kind, like the category. And this one is, yeah, this is like 220 pages. And it is called Town Bronze by Kate Huntington. And they both have crazy eyes. The way they're looking at each other, it's very nice that these two utterly unhinged department store mannequins have found each other. Yeah. And then we have Thief of Hearts by Catherine Stone. Oh, wait a second. This is actually a contemporary. Ended up in the wrong bag. Takes place in Hawaii. Well, it's contemporary. It's published in 1999, so it's contemporary to 1999. So I put that in the wrong bag. Then we have, Joanna Lindsay, classic. Love Only Once. This is a Mallory from the Mallory series, but it's very early, from like 1985. What does it say on the copyright page? Wait a second, it said something. Oh, I see. This is Elaine Diolo, but I think that the cover, I think this was before she discovered Fabio, because that guy just looks like a blonde Rock Hudson. And he's making out with Taylor Dane. Okay, it was the 80s. We expected such sights all the time. Okay. Oh, boy, I just threw all the mass markets in one bag. Stormy says, I have a few zebra regencies. Love that they are shorter. Yeah. I love historical romances, but why do they have to be 400 plus pages? LOL. Yeah, I know. I like that this is short. It's just, and I'm sure the book is fine. It's just the cover art makes them look like they are just completely crazy eyes. Just they're crazy eyes for each other. I actually thought I had separated out the historical romances, but this is all a bunch of mass markets, and this is like a science fiction kind of deal. Some of that alien loving. So that's not historical. This one is, and it's a step back. This is Judith Ivory, Untie My Heart. And it is a step back. Woo, hubba hubba. Untie My Heart. It looks like he's already untied her corset strings. Okay, let's see. This is a medium length Regency. This is 316 pages, copyright 2005, and it is The Pleasure Garden by Regan Allen. It is zebra historical. And it's Regency. The Pleasure Garden is Vauxhall, so. Ooh, boy, somebody was having a clear out of their zebras, because we have another zebra here. Wild Western Desire by Kathy Jones. And if you look on the back, there's a train. I like trains. And then we also have another Western, Anna Lee, Proud Pillars Rising. Well, I'm sure that has no supplementary meaning at all. Proud Pillars Rising. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh my goodness, getting a little warm here. Proud Pillars Rising. That's refreshing. All right, and then we have Beloved Warrior, who is a this is like a paranormal. It is like he's a Norse god or something, and he ends up in contemporary Pennsylvania. Yeah. I'm going to call it time travel and put it with my stack for the Ever After-a-thon. Norse god, Pennsylvania. I know they do things differently there. I don't even know what this one is about or anything because this is the cover, Midnight Waltz by Jennifer Blake. And when you flip it over to see what it's about, it's about this lady not being able to keep her clothes on. And this dude who's just like, let me help you with that in any way I can. He's supportive. Stormy says, you're so lucky. I love when I find zebra books out thrifting. This is Fawcett. Yes, I don't seem to find them very often, but this was like a treasure trove. Somebody was clearing out a closet. Let's see. This one is a diamond homespun historical romance. And I'm not familiar with that publisher. It's part of the Berkeley Publishing Group. So you know it's not an advanced review copy. And also it is from 1992. So if it were an advanced review copy, it would be not very advanced. Anyway, this is their division. It's Diamond Homespun Historical Romance from the Heart of America. I'm getting the impression that maybe it's clean, maybe even inspirational. I don't know, but I love the cover. It's the Plum Harvest, and it's Prairie Dreams by Teresa Warfield, and it looks like she's picking plums and putting them into her wagon. I love plums. I love them so much. And here is a picture. Step back. Plums. And Harlequin Historical by King's Decree by Sherry Anton. And he's a sturdy knight with a giant sword. I mean, they chose to depict him holding it exactly like that, so I don't know what to tell you. This is 300 pages, and it takes place in the 1106. So, then we have Stephanie Lawrence, A Match for Marcus Sinster. This is a Sinster novel. I like her outfit. It looks like, I'm not sure what's going on there, but it is, I don't know exactly what her clothing is, but it's cool. And we have The Bride by Julie Garwood, which is medieval Scotland and England, 1102. And more Stephanie Lawrence, In Pursuit of Eliza Sinster, also a Sinster novel. Ooh, look at that purple. So shiny and lovely. And Raised. It is a step back, but it's just the kind that has like marketing information in there, blurbs and stuff. Yeah, disappointing, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Harlequin Historical, Gabriel's Lady by Anna Seymour. It's got on the back, she's riding side saddle. Things were different in the Wild West. Hermie says, fake step back. Hate those. I mean, it's a real step back, but what's the point? I mean, earlier I had those step backs. I had a couple of step backs that weren't clinches, but they were art. Like there was one with the lady gazing off into the distance, and then the other one that was just like the beautiful autumn road with cabin in the background. Those were, at least they were art instead of just like blurbs. You know, even if it wasn't a clinch. Boomerang Boomerang Bride, it's Karina, which is a division of Harlequin, but I think this is actually contemporary. I thought I had separated out the historicals, but it turns out I hadn't. I've been busy. Yes, last night I recorded a video that I'm going to post tomorrow. And it's basically, I just decided I was going through the library books I've checked out recently to see if I actually wanted to read them or if I should just like return them. Because I had gone to the library without my reading glasses, so I was just kind of grabbing books. So I decided that I would go through them, and I thought, well, why not make a video out of it? So tomorrow I'm going to post a video that's mostly just me reading summaries and reading the first few paragraphs and deciding whether or not I want to read it. But in that video, I say that because I went to the dentist earlier that day, I'm not going to be doing anything else. I'm like, that's going to be my excuse for the whole rest of the week. I'm not doing the dishes. I went to the dentist. I'm not putting out the trash. I went to the dentist. Stormy says, would rather have those than words too. Yeah, I mean, even if it's not a clinch, it's still, I mean, it was like that pretty uh, road in fallen leaves. And then there was the lady glance. They were nice. And like, here's another one by Catherine Anderson. And it's a step back. It's not a clinch. And it looks like somebody had marked it. It's Lucky Penny. And it's just a lady running through the field, but at least it's not like just a bunch of blurbs on a plain background. I like this. There's like all these notations over here, including one that says return to Luann. Why? Luann's just going to give it to the library. There's like a story in there somewhere. I'm sure of it. That's probably not. Just a reminder to return it to Luann. She's going to show up at my house going, you have my book. Stormy says, my excuse for doing nothing today is my knee hurts. Yes, that's totally legit. So I should just lay here and read and watch Scarecrow and Mrs. King. LOL. Yeah. They're like, yeah, my knee hurts. What am I supposed to do about that? And, and we have another Mallory novel by Joanna Lindsay. This does not have a step back, but it does have this guy gazing off into the distance manfully. Well, she's kind of an artistic afterthought. But I'm guessing this is Pirate. Maybe I'll like try to crash Team Pirate for the Ever After-a-thon. The Adventure. This is Stephanie Lawrence again. This is volume 3 of the Adventurers Quartet. I think I already have one of these. Yeah, I have A Buccaneer at Heart, which I think is the second book. Anyway, this one, you've got this on the cover, but it does have a step back. And, oh, their clothes fell off. Desire whispered softly through her mind, trailing seductive tendrils of hunger. Okay. Stormy says, I have that book, been trying to collect all the Mallory books. I have... Oh, that wasn't Mallory. Yeah, this one. I have a fair number of them. This one has some water damage, which is, I think, frankly, it's really appropriate. It's like the cover got out of hand and got onto the pages. And, I mean, it's still legible. It's just they're slightly warped. I like it. And here it is. Also, is this also Mallory? I don't think this is Mallory, but it is some kind of pirate deal from Joanna Lindsay. This is from like 1978, I think. Yes, 1978. And somebody has a very well-appointed cabin. It's got sprayed edges. So, yeah. This is probably going to be all kinds of yikes, but you know what? I'm willing to take that risk. In Name Only by Janet Bieber. So this is like, this is a nanny romance, but I'm a little iffy on those, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see. Okay, time to grab more of my stack. Oh my gosh. The Devil Wears Plaid by Teresa Medeiros. I like that cover. She's got a look on her. Like, she's like, I know what's what. And this is, not sure when it's set. But yeah, that's cool. And then we have another step back. Savage Destiny, Eagle's Song by Roseanne Bittner. It's part of a series, and it's 1996, and Roseanne Bittner is writing about Native Americans, but I was very pleasantly surprised by Tender Betrayal, which was her book that took place, one of her books that took place in the Civil War. And I was like, oh, this, I was expecting it to just be something I couldn't even stomach, that I was going to have to like DNF it. And actually, it was much more nuanced than I expected. So I'm hoping that she continues to come through for me. No, that's pretty. All those flowers. And he's forever in blue jeans. Yeah. And then we have another zebra with the holographic imprint. Stormy says, I looked, I only have 4 Mallory, so I have a ways to go. I need to find book 1, LOL. I don't even know what book 1 is. I don't know. I know I have a fair number of Mallorys, and I've read one of them. I've read Captive of My Desires, which I read out of sequence. So, whatever. Oh my goodness, she is described as a thieving she-cat. This is Rapture's Rogue by Catherine Creel. Thieving she-cat. Wyoming Territory, 1877, or Montana Territory, 1884. There's a prologue, and then we pick up several years later. So more of my Western era. Oh, there's a lot going on the back, aside from thieving she-cat. Let's see. Jade Lee. I've never read anything by Jade Lee, but I have heard good things. And this is, I think this is part of a series, but I don't know. Hopefully you don't have to read them in order and they somewhat stand alone. I'll look into it. This is Desperate Tigress. So this seems to take place in oh my gosh. It's like there's a paranormal element, maybe. Anyway, takes place around the end of the 19th, early 20th century in Shanghai. Love Only Once is Mallory #1. Okay, well, now I have it. And let's see. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Another Stephanie Lawrence, An Unwilling Conquest. It is not a step back, but I like that cover with the top hat and I guess an invitation and some ladies' gloves. So this is not too long, actually. This is only 312 pages. 1996. Jane Feather. She disappointed me with Valentine, but I'm hoping it was just the one time. And, I had some extra space in a bag that I, rushed to the altar. And this is 2010. That book that disturbed me so was like from the early 90s. So hopefully she settled down a little bit. So it looks like it takes place in, instead of Regency, it's mid-18th century, 1764. And then we have The Key by Lindsay Sands. I don't know, some kind of Scotland 1395. Okay. Oh, more Rosemary Rogers, but this time it's historical. The Wanton. Hmm. Oh, he's got a hairy chest. For those of you who like such things, because it's 1985 and uh, manscaping wasn't quite as advanced as it is now. This has a lot of stickers on it. It looks like it is some kind of paranormal business. Oh no, this is a time travel deal, I think. I don't know. Paranormal time travel. I'll have to look into it and see if it'll fit for uh the Read It Ever Afterathon. Anyway, it's got a lot of stickers on it, but it is Forever and a Day by Victoria Chancellor. And it was the price on the cover is $5.99 US, two for $5, and then it was $1 at Buck-a-Book. So, and then it was about 25 cents for me. Oh, another Jane Feather. Chase the Dawn. Look at that. It's so pretty. It's I don't know if you can tell in this lighting with this camera, but it's like this pink, this sort of metallic pink. The dove is carrying, I don't know if that's an olive branch or just like a flower of some kind. Anyway. Oh, but it's 1988, so might have a problem with that one. And then, okay, Lorraine Heath, Beyond Scoundrel, excuse me, Beyond Scandal and Desire. Scoundrel, it's all the same thing. I have the Lorraine Heath, like the ones set in Texas, but I think this is the only one I have that is uh, set in the UK. It's not a Regency though, because it's London 1840. So a little past the Regency time, we're into the reign of Victoria. Oh, actually, the prologue is London 1840, and the story itself is London 1871. So we're definitely past Regency and into the Victorian era by quite a lot. So we already talked about that one. And then we have, oh, okay, Time Swept. Time Swept Passion, Timeless Love. This is another time travel that I picked up for the Ever Afterathon. This is Interlude in Time by Rita Clay Estrada. So we're in New Jersey, and this lady from now finds a dude, and he is some kind of gangster from the 1920s. So yeah, that goes in that pile. That one I have to look into. Let's see. Okay. And let's see. Angel by Joanna Lindsay. I don't think. Yeah, this is Western from 1992. Texas 1881. And then Joan Johnston. I had found that what was it? Silhouette Desire by her. And this is from 2014, so many, many years later. And this is, I believe it's an historical. Yes, Montana Bride. And yeah, so she is stepping in for when Carl Norwood's mail order bride meets an untimely demise on the way to the Montana Territory. Hetty Wentworth steps in to take her place. So she's pretending to be a mail order bride. And another Joanna Lindsay, Man of My Dreams, which is, I think it's Regency. No, England 1878, so Victorian. And, okay, that's an entire bag. Oh, okay. I kind of lost track of what I was doing. I think the that was in I don't know. That wasn't the bag they came. They gave us bags. They were smaller than this, and I put mine into this bag to make it easier to manage. So I think that was actually 2 bags worth. And I think that's pretty much almost everything I picked up, except there's some hardcovers and trade paperbacks over there. And I found out, oh, and some I didn't talk about earlier, but I noticed that some of these books I bought, I think I mentioned this Christina Dodd, Scent of Darkness, is actually the first book in a series. So I can do a dive in or drop out about this. And Turbulent by T.L. Payne is also the first in a series. Can do a dive in, drop out about that. And Beautiful Creatures by Kemi Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is a movie tie-in, and there's a poster in this that nobody's bothered to take out. It's the first book of the series, but I don't know if the series is long enough. Because when I do a dive in or drop out, I like the series to have more than 3 books. So I don't know if that is long enough to be a dive in or drop out or not. So anyway, shall we do another sprint? It is 4:45 Eastern. So it's been almost 2 hours, and we only did one sprint. Well, we did the 10-minute sprint. We only did one 30-minute sprint because I have been talking about these books pretty much nonstop. Mm-hmm. Ah, Stormy says, wrong glasses. I liked Beautiful Creatures, but then never continued, lol. Okay, I could sprint, says Stormy. Okay, I have never heard of Beautiful Creatures. I have never heard of the movie. That doesn't mean anything. I'm not really plugged into YA culture, but I'm looking forward to trying it. Okay, yes. So let's have a half an hour sprint until uh 16, 17 minutes past the hour. Or no, yeah, 16, 17 minutes past the hour. And then we'll do a wrap up, and that'll probably be it. I can talk about the last of the books that I bought today. Okay, so we're going to. Ana says, I am back. Beautiful Creatures is amazing. The book or the movie? Or both? Okay. My right click button on my computer has been kind of weird lately. Uh-oh. Well, my computer's not broken. Otherwise, the money I saved on my teeth is going to be spent on a new computer. There we go. And we're going to 18 minutes past the hour. Sprinting to 18 minutes past the hour. Okay, see you guys in a half an hour. Okay, it's been another half an hour of sprinting, and I got all of that stuff put on Goodreads. And according to my the information YouTube is giving me, there's one person in this live stream aside from me, but I think sometimes they seem to undercount, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I still have one bag left, and that's trades and hardbacks. Pardon my knees. Ana says she's still here. Okay. Appreciate it. Okay. So, one last bag. And I just ate and put my rolls to rise in the warm oven. Ooh, what'd you have? That rushed lunch we had was, we each had a cheeseburger, and I ordered a side of onions, and my mom ordered a side of fries, and we just kind of went back and forth between each other's plates on that. And she still had a lot of fries left over, which we brought home, and I think she had them as a little snack. Hey, remember to pop back in. Hey, Stormy. Well, I was just saying that I got all of those books, whatchamacallit, and the Who's It's, on Goodreads. And I still have a few books I haven't shown you guys yet that are just some trade paperbacks and hardbacks. And if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think you, Stormy, will be too impressed with these horror hardbacks that I got, because this is for my Bentley Little collection. And my understanding, I think it was you were saying that you just never really got into Bentley Little that much. So we've got The Town, The Association, and The Mailman. Ana says, oh, chorizo burrito. That's right. You were talking about that. And anyone want to come do my dishes? I can't do your dishes. I went to the dentist. So I still feel like I got punched out by a particularly angry baby. Okay. So those are those Bentley Littles that like I said, I think Stormy's going to be just like, yeah, you just enjoy those, Sock. Oh, you said I have only read one Bentley Little and it was okay. Okay, it must have been somebody else, because I'm pretty sure though it was you when I was talking about how I liked I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. You were like, that was yeah, I think that was somebody that you didn't particularly like, if I'm remembering. Okay. I don't know. These days I talk to so many people about books, I kind of forget who said what about who and stuff. Okay. Never heard of that author. Who, Bentley Little? It's horror. He writes horror. And what I like is that he takes stuff that is just like kind of, yeah, I'm not a fan of Stephen Graham Jones. Yeah. What Bentley Little does is he takes something that is just like an everyday inconvenience, like this one, the association. It's a homeowners association. You know, those are frequently kind of a pain in the neck to deal with. But he turns it into, oh, it's not just that they're a pain in the neck to deal with. It's just that there are like a cosmic horror. You know, it's a front for some sort of terrible cosmic horror. It's not just a minor inconvenience. It is like earth-shatteringly terrible. I'm into it. I got a Western, Turpentine by Spring Warren, because I've been enjoying the Western romances so much. I thought maybe I'd start reading Westerns, like straight up Westerns. This is 2007, so it's a more contemporary Western. I mean, it's not a contemporary Western. It takes place in the 19th century, but it was written more recently than, say, Louis L'Amour or the Golden Age of Westerns in like the from the like 1930s and 1920s, 1930s into like the 60s and 70s. Anna says, sounds interesting. The Ugly Duckling by Iris Johansson. This is a woman who is injured and her husband is killed and she is severely injured. She needs plastic surgery and she ends up looking completely different. And this dude is like, you want revenge? I want revenge. Oh, let's work something out. So, yeah. And then I got this series, Troop of Shadows by Nikki Huntsman Smith. I am not at all familiar with this, but it looks like it's some kind of, it is a post-apocalyptic deal. And this is book one. It's like a 5-book series. I don't know if there are more books than just these 5, but it was just like, it's self-published, I think. So if I like it, it might be hard to find it. So, so I thought I'd go ahead and get them all because I was filling bags. So yeah. So that's going to be a nice dive in, drop out. Dive in or drop out, I should say. And I think that pretty much covers it. And yeah. I'm pretty sure no, I'm pretty sure. I know I read this. I'm pretty sure I liked it. I mean, like back when it came out, which would have been like 30 years ago or so. This came out in 1996, so almost 30 years ago. So those books I just talked about are the only ones that I haven't added to Goodreads yet, and so I actually can't believe I got them all added. That is something I did not expect would happen. And a program reminder, I talked about this on Monday. I'm just going to remind folks that the next Book Talk with Sock, that's every other Monday at 7 Eastern. So normally it would be on the 28th of April, but it's going to be on the 29th of April, which is a Tuesday. So it doesn't conflict with Stormy and Sarah's sprints for once. This is not a sprint, it's discussion. And joining me will be Crystal of Books Forever After, and we will be talking about me and Crystal and anybody else who wants to share will be discussing our May TBRs, particularly in light of those of us who are participating in the Ever After-a-thon. But I'd love to hear everybody's May TBR, even if they're not doing the Ever After readathon, the Ever After-a-thon. So, yes. Ana says, I still haven't added my mass markets to mine. It's a process. It's a process. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a process. Yeah. Anyway, so that's just a program note for almost 2 weeks from today. So yeah, that's what's happening there. And of course, I will be back next week for midweek motivation. This will be back to 2 p.m. Eastern. Today was just an exception because I had that my mom wanted that ride, so I pushed it back an hour. I did get home at about 10 minutes past 2, but it was nice. Well, you saw how rushed I was, even having been home for a while. So, and like I said, tomorrow I will be posting a video, which is just me reading the summaries of a bunch of library books and talking out loud about my reasoning for whether or not I actually want to read them or whether I'm going to return them to the library unread by me. And I'll be posting that tomorrow morning. And, you know, just in case people want to turn it on in the background while they do other stuff or want to watch it. I mean, it's, you know, it's a good time, I think. It was just one of those things. I was going to do that anyway, and I decided, well, why not turn on the camera and see what happens? So if anybody has anything to say, now's the time to say it. Okay, well, I guess this concludes our broadcast day, my broadcast day anyway. Appreciate everybody who showed up and participated or just showed up to watch. That's more than okay. And I will see you all around here and there online. Bye. Oh, again, trying to say bye the way Stormy says bye. Bye. Still can't do it. Anus says, this was fun. I must go make effort now. Nah, you could, make half-baked effort. Okay. Thanks again for joining everybody, and I will see y'all in the funny pages.